Going in light, coming out heavy.
So, what makes a good hunter a good hunter? And
It's all decision making. Decision making that can result in life or death.
It's the best hunting advice that I've ever been given. And I've been around a lot of guys that are very, very seasoned hunters, are way better hunters than myself. And I tend to ask those guys, I try to pick their brain. That's a good kind of, I don't know, outlook to have, is like find somebody that's way better way better than you at something, and talk to them about it, especially if you want to get better. So one of the things that I ask guys, like, hey, how did you know that, why did you pick this spot to hunt from? Or what is going through your mind right now? And I think it's super cool when hunters as clients ask me or ask the guides. I encourage hunters to do that. I'm like, hey, when you're on a guided hunt, ask them questions. They're more than happy to tell you what they're thinking, and they're more than happy to game plan with you and kind of come up with a plan. But as far as the advice that I've been given that was most, I would say, transformative for me as a hunter is to trust my instincts. And that's not something you can really quantify. There's a lot of really good advice of just baselining yourself, buy the best optics you can afford, stay out in the field longer, do your research, e-scout, lots of little things like that. We can go on and on and on. But instincts are something that, in my opinion, every single one of us has. I think both men and women have hunting instincts, and they get engaged when we are in the act of hunting. So our hunting instincts come out while we're hunting, if you're willing to listen to them. And obviously, look, if you've never been hunting before and you all of a sudden step up in a tree stand, there's a million different things going through your head. If you're sitting on a knob for the first time with a pair of binos, you're not necessarily going to have hunting instincts that all of a sudden morph you into some kind of super hunter. What I'm saying is that the more time you spend in the hunting realm, the more time you spend in the woods or hunting a certain animal, you begin to hone those hunting instincts, and all of a sudden it's gonna show up like this. Maybe I should go sit over there. Maybe I just need to wait a little bit longer. It's gonna start those hunting instincts are gonna start to become more and more prevalent, to where your field of focus narrows in on the actual reason why you are doing it, and that's to hunt. And the end result of a hunt is to kill, and killing that animal. And I believe what it takes to consistently kill animals is being in the field, paying attention to those instincts, and honing those instincts, cultivating those instincts when you're actually pursuing animals. One of the best ways to do that is just start bow hunting. Bow hunting is such a great way to start to grow your instincts and understand where they're taking you. The reason why bow hunting is really effective is because you're literally working so hard for one opportunity. You're not guaranteed success, and for the most part, you're not going to be successful as a bow hunter. You're just successful in the terms of killing an animal. In my opinion, success on a hunt has very little to do with the actual kill of an animal, but more about the approach. And so I think the best advice, and the best advice that I would give anybody, whether they're new to hunting or have been hunting for 30 years, is trust your instincts. Develop your instincts. Especially maybe somebody who's kind of lost, been out of the hunting world, or who's kind of stuck in their hunting ways. Go back to what made you successful, especially if you're struggling. If things just haven't been working out. And I think, like I said before, I think bow hunting is a really, really good way just to re-engage that thought pattern, those instincts that every single human being has. I do believe that some people have a higher level or a higher ceiling for those hunting instincts. I do believe that some people were born with a little bit more of hunting, like a desire to hunt than other people. And I think that's natural. But the fact that animals are meat, and meat equals calories, and calories equals survival, humans have to have the ability to kill an animal in 90% of the cases to survive. So because we need to kill in order to feed ourselves, the hunting instinct has to exist. And I've seen it. And like I said, it's not just men. I've seen it in women as well. And women carry with them a little bit different level of attention. I think they carry a little bit different level of understanding and like feeling in tune with like their emotions. No surprise there. But it's important for guys and girls when they're out hunting is to get their focus to what's really important, why they're there, and really hone in on what movements the animal is making. What's the wind doing? All these little things, you start focusing in on that, and then it blends together and creates like these directions, these motivations, where you wake up in the morning and there's just something about that morning. You may step outside and you're like, I'm going to go here. And it may be a culmination of a lot of different factors that you may not be able to put your finger on, but it's because you're listening to your instincts and you've been hunting and you just have that feeling. And not all the time, not every single time you're like, oh, I'm going to go chase every whim that I can, that you're going to be successful. But I would say there's been a lot of times I can put my finger on where I went with my hunting instincts on a guided hunt that didn't really make sense. And we somehow like ran into an animal. You know, we found an animal that we were actively pursuing that we couldn't find for 5 days. That's what I mean by running into an animal. Like, hey, I think we need to go over here. There's no indication, there's no reason why we should do that, but here's where I want to be. So that's my advice, guys. That's the advice that I've been given. And the more time you spend out in the woods hunting as a human, pursuing animals for meat, the more your instincts will be developed and will be able to be leaned on. And they're like muscles when they're exercised. You can flex them and you can use them and they grow. So I encourage you guys to get out there, listen to your instincts, and try to make it happen. All right, thanks, guys. I appreciate you listening. Just a little thought that I had that I have people ask me, just kind of the nuances of hunting and guiding. And I hope that meant something to you. I hope some of you guys can relate to it. Don't be afraid to hit me with comments below what your feelings are and what you think the best advice somebody's giving you about hunting. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later.